Warn. Attacks to the eye can cause serious harm. Use only proportionate force to get away. Throat. A fast, hard strike to the anterior neck can compress the airway, force a gasp, and collapse forward. Use the edge of the hand or a targeted palm strike to the windpipe or the soft area just below the jaw. This is a high-risk target. It can end a threat quickly, but it also carries elevated medical danger. Make the assessment. Is your life or severe bodily harm at stake? If not, choose a less dangerous option. If it is, your goal remains escape. Knees. Attacking support rather than face. A lateral stomp, a well-placed shin kick to the outside of the knee, or a quick drive to the patella can destabilize and slow pursuit. You are not engineers trying to cut tendons, you are creating imbalance. A misdirected side kick to the knee can end a foot chase. Hit low, hit fast, leave. Groin, crude but effective. An upward strike, knee, or palm thrust into the groin causes shock, nausea, and a breathless moment. It rarely ends long-term harm, but it often ends pursuit. Use it as a tactical tool, not as an insult. Base of skull and back of neck, severe. A strike to the occiput or the junction at the top of the neck can disrupt motor control and balance. It is a last resort option. If you choose it, do so with the aim of immediate escape and with awareness of legal consequences. Do not linger. For each target, your intent is clear. Create an escape window. You do not linger to finish anyone. You do not celebrate harm. You move and you leave. Defense begins before contact. Distance management is the first defense. Keep someone outside of their reach. If they close, step offline. Move to angles that make their footwork and reach inefficient. Your feet win fights before your hands do. Float, shuffle, and use short, controlled steps. Think Muhammad Ali's footwork as a metaphor. Light on your feet, ready to shift weight and create angles. You do not need to dance, you need to create space and options. When strikes come at you, redirect rather than meet force head-on. A parry, a turn of the wrist, or a forearm deflection uses the attacker's energy against them and preserves your center. Absorb minimal force by yielding slightly and then redirecting. Blocking transfers force straight back into you. Parrying creates off-axis balance for them. Move the head off the line. A small dip, a turn, or a step to the outside reduces the threat of a strike and maintains your ability to strike back if you must. Lower your center of gravity. Bend your knees. This is not crouching in a fearful way. It is building a stable platform. The lower you are, the less likely someone can shove you off your feet. A low stance gives you leverage for hip-driven strikes and makes it easier to sprawl or sprawl to scramble if they try to tackle you. Grips and holds are predictable. People wrap thumbs the weakest way. When someone grabs you, attack the thumb first. The thumb is the weakest digit in a grip. Peel and twist. Do not try to muscle out against their entire hand. Create an angle. Turn toward the choking arm, not away, to shorten the lever the grabber is using. If they have a two-handed grab, attack the nearest hand, stomp for distraction, and create space with a strong push of the hips. Ground survival changes the game plan. Most fights go to the ground in real-life scuffles. Ground is where many people get seriously hurt because they panic and neglect positional priorities. Your default on the ground is control and escape. If you land on your back, reclaim the guard as a defensive configuration. Knees in, feet active, hands controlling posture. Clamp your legs around the attacker's hips to limit their travel. Control their head or wrists to prevent strikes or posture. Bridge and roll is a fundamental escape. It uses fulcrum mechanics. Trap one of their arms and the same side foot. Trap means pin the wrist to your chest or the floor with your hand and your knee. Bridge hard, thrust your hips upward, and roll toward the trapped side. Your hips are a lever. By creating torque against the opponent's shifted base, you can topple a heavier attacker if you time the bridge with the trapped arm and trap the leg. This is not fancy grappling, it is simple physics. Create a fulcrum, apply torque, turn the mass. If they mount you, trap an arm and a foot.
bridge, and tip. The heavier they are, the worse it is for them if you create an off-balance moment. Use the mount escape sequence. Secure the wrist, pinch your elbow to your ribs, bring your knee high to trap, bridge toward the trapped side, and roll. Once reversed, scramble to your feet immediately. Ground is not a place to celebrate victory. It is a place to escape. Always prioritize getting vertical. Choke scenarios require specific focus. Tuck the chin. This simple move protects the airway by bringing the chin into the chest and shielding the windpipe. It also shortens the path the attacker needs to clamp to the throat. If someone applies a choke, reach up and find their hand or forearm. Pull the choking arm down and toward the attacker's elbow. Turning toward the choking arm creates leverage. It shortens the lever and makes it harder for them to sustain pressure. If you can free a hand, target soft points, eyes, nose, or throat of the attacker. Or use heel stomps to distract. Again, proportionate force, immediate escape. Fear is a physiological fact. When survival is on the line, the brain floods you with adrenaline and cortisol. Fine motor skills degrade. Vision tunnels. Time seems to slow or collapse. That is normal. You cannot think your way out in the middle of a spike. You override it with preparation. Muscle memory is the antidote to panic. Repetition in realistic conditions degrades the need for cognitive processing during stress. Practice slow. Then practice fast. Then practice under noise, low light, and surprise. Breathing is your control lever. Box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, resets the autonomic spike and returns some clarity. In close quarters, use short, forceful exhales on strikes to stabilize your core. Train breathing into every drill until it becomes automatic. The same breathing patterns Navy SEALs use to drop heart rate under stress are not mystical. They are repeatable habits that return decision-making capacity. You do not need to be a warrior to use them. You need a plan and practice. Train under stress. Drill the fundamentals until they are reflexive. Start with technique in a calm, controlled environment. Develop safe punch mechanics, hip rotation patterns, and footwork. Once repetition establishes form, add variables. Someone yells unexpectedly, lights go off, a restraint is used, or you are forced to perform after physical exertion. Use incremental stress inoculation, noise, surprise, and fatigue. Focus on outcomes, escape routes, breaking off pursuit, and safe disengagement. Pair up with a partner who understands safety protocols. Wear protective gear when necessary. Prioritize repetition over complexity. The simpler the action, the more likely it will survive stress. When you strike, protect yourself. After any offensive move, create distance, strike, and move. Do not stand to trade. A short strike to disrupt balance, then step off the line. Use the attacker's momentary loss of balance to retrieve your path to the exit. If you cannot move to ground because a weapon or multiple attackers are present, shift your priorities to cover, concealment, and distraction. Scream, aim for the light. Use environmental hazards like uneven terrain to complicate pursuit. Drills that matter. Patterned impact drills, partner parries, and scramble drills. Start at half speed. Build to 3/4 speed. Introduce unpredictability, nonverbal cues, random direction changes, intermittent loud noise. Time your responses under a clock. Set a 3-second goal for creating space from a simulated grab or 3 strikes to disrupt. The 3-second rule is a training device. From the moment you commit, you should create a window to move within seconds. Practice moving within that limit until it feels plausible. Safety and legality must be explicit. These techniques are for self-defense and escape. Use of force laws vary by jurisdiction. Always act only to protect yourself or others from imminent harm and stop once you are clear to retreat. Do not seek out violence. Document the encounter if possible and seek medical attention for injuries, yours or the other parties, as appropriate. Understand local law about proportionality of force. Now, a compact application, 3 seconds compressed into action. You are walking with a pack. Someone steps from shadow, reaches to grab your jacket. Your first reaction matters. Feet, short rear step to widen your base.
Hip, coil into the rear leg, not your shoulder. Hands, thumb to the attacker's grip. Attack the thumb, peel and twist to break the grab. If the grab persists and an elbow or hand comes toward your face, parry the incoming strike outwards, plant your rear foot, rotate your hip, and deliver a palm heel strike upward into the nose or lower forehead. That strike is strong, compact, and less risky to your hand than a closed fist blow. On impact, exhale sharply, push off the ground, and step toward the nearest exit. If the attacker lunges low, counter the knee with a side foot stomp to the shin and scramble away at an angle. If the fight hits the ground and you end up on your back, bring your knees in, clamp guard, control a wrist, trap an arm, bridge, and roll toward the trapped side, then immediately recover to feet. These moves flow from a single logic: create imbalance, create space, move. They are not about proving dominance. They are not tricks for bar fights. They are tactical applications of human mechanics you already possess. Practice progression. Week 1, mechanics and posture. Stance, safe fist, hip rotation, breathing on impact. Week 2, targets and distance. Slow drills to the eyes, chin tuck, knee taps, groin strikes, and movement off the line. Week 3, partner drills and light contact. Parries, grip breaks, and controlled takedowns. Week 4, stress inoculation. Noise, surprise, low light, timed responses. Repeat cycles, increase intensity, conservatively, and always check for pain or injury. Seek professional hands-on instruction to correct form. Nothing replaces coached practice when power and balance are on the line. A few practical won't break your hand rules: keep the wrist aligned with the forearm, strike with 2 knuckles, avoid striking bony, irregular surfaces with a bare fist, soften the elbow to absorb recoil, and always breathe on impact. These keep you functional after the event. Your ability to move is your greatest asset afterward. Brief legal note: these techniques are for self-preservation. Laws about the use of force vary. Act only to prevent imminent harm and withdraw at the earliest safe opportunity. Training is also mental. Run scenarios in your head as training. Visualize the smell of alley air, the crunch of gravel, the shape of an exit. Picture the kinetic chain. Feet push, hips rotate, fist follows. Add sensory stressors to those visualizations: a shout, a sudden pull, and rehearse your response. Mental rehearsal speeds up physical response. Final drill you can do anywhere: 3-second escape sequences. Have a partner lightly grab your jacket from behind. In 3 seconds you must break the grip, create 2 meters of space, and orient to an exit. Drill this for 10 reps, then increase unpredictability. Partner moves, grabs at different heights, or attempts a sudden push. The goal is automaticity. If your brain has to reason through each step, you will lose precious time. Final drill you can do anywhere: 3-second escape sequences. Have a partner lightly grab your jacket from behind. In 3 seconds you must break the grip, create 2 meters of space, and orient to an exit. Drill this for 10 reps, then increase unpredictability. Partner moves, grabs at different heights, or attempts a sudden push. The goal is automaticity. If your brain has to reason through each step, you will lose precious time.
If muscle memory does the work, you gain the time you need to leave. Remember the core principles. Your body is the weapon because it is a mechanical system built to move force efficiently. Use the kinetic chain. Strike through targets to disrupt, not to harm more than necessary. Keep wrist and fist aligned to avoid self-injury. Manage distance and use angles. On the ground, prioritize control and getting vertical. In choking scenarios, tuck the chin, pull the choking arm, turn into it, and create space. Practice with intention. Train breathing, repetitive mechanics, and stress inoculation. Find a qualified instructor for hands-on correction. Use legal judgment and ethical restraint. And when the moment comes, act swiftly. Disturb their balance, create the window, and leave. If this message landed with you, go do practical drills. Start with the basics I outlined, build to partner work, then add stress. For hands-on instruction and a step-by-step practice playlist, check the training playlist linked below. Train responsibly, be prepared, get home.